Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
We're glad to have you here. NuSpecies' mission is to help our clients live better and live longer. NuSpecies invents and manufactures our own line of high potency herbal formulas that are all designed to support your body through the toughest of health challenges. We're all on our own health journey, and a good health decision for you might be different for someone else. And so that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. to make sure that you get the answers that you have to your questions so that you can continue along your own unique health journey. So welcome to those of you on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. If you're on Instagram, just so you know, that chat feed doesn't feed into what we're looking at here on our screen. So if you want to participate in a more detailed way, then please come on over to YouTube or Facebook.
How come no one ever asks us, how can we live longer? How come none of you ever asked that question? What are you supposed to do at home for you to live longer, for your children to live longer, for your parents and your grandparents to live longer? I know intuitively, take NuSpecies, drink NuSpecies. But what about the what and the how and all that? You know the why. You got to build up your body and your genes and DNA. But how come no one ever asked that? And how come no one ever asked, how do you manufacture your own products? You never ask. Come on, family, wake up. All right. Back over to you. Just want to stir up the pot and cause a little trouble.
All right. Well, good morning, Wayne. Good morning, Suzanne. Hopefully, you're going to stir up the pot for Aston, keep him interested. Good morning to, we got an anonymous YouTube user. Glad you're here, anonymous or not. If you didn't intend to be anonymous, then you can fix that, I guess. All right. Well, we've got some announcements. We can do some education about products, but otherwise our agenda is yours. So it would be great if you have any questions, you could start putting them in the chat.
And reach out to family and friends worldwide. During the hurricane that just hit Jamaica and the Caribbean, now hitting parts of Mexico, I was able to talk to my family in Jamaica throughout the entire category 4 hurricane over beside whatever it was doing to Jamaica. I was able to talk to my family the whole time. So I know your WhatsApp work. You can call your family members and tell them to join us now. All right.
But speaking about the hurricane, if you do have any family or loved ones in Jamaica who are impacted right now, our hearts are with you. We know our own team that works in Jamaica is they're living in areas that do still not have power or water, and that's really difficult. So we know a lot of your family members, and maybe if you're watching now, even you might be still suffering damage to your home or to those that you love. So our hearts are with you, and they were with you all this week. So
and we're happy that a ton of people didn't die. There was a big fear that it's a category 4 or 5. A lot of people are going to die, and so far officially, that's not the case. So God is smiling. So you should smile. We should smile back.
Good morning, Cleo. Good morning, Trevor, Yolanda, Marjorie. Thank you all for being here. Trevor, you put some numbers in there. He says Aston will get more. Aston, do you know what Trevor is giving us numbers for?
Yes, okay. Trevor is working overtime, and I'm not going to pay the bill you're going to send us, Trevor. But Trevor is working overtime to ensure that we get an office in Brooklyn.
Oh, yes.
A NuSpecies office in Brooklyn.
Great. Yeah. So thank you, Trevor, and anyone else who maybe knows of a place that we could rent in Brooklyn, that'd be great. We're not really looking to set up like a full-time storefront anymore, but we want just an office somewhere we can go to that has parking or has a great convenient bus line for you to get on. And then we would love to come down maybe once a week and cater to all of your needs on that day.
Right. And that's one of the things Trevor raised with me earlier in the week, that we don't even have a train that goes close enough there, walking distance from there. So we're going to solution whatever we do in Brooklyn. We're going to try to solution it a little better.
Right.
I think the first time around we had rushed into Canarsie, which was not a bad thing, but now that we know what we know, we can offer a better solution to you to get your NuSpecies.
Gosh, I can't even remember how we found that original store in Brooklyn. Do you remember?
I do.
We were looking and someone just told us, and we.
There's a friend, a NuSpecies friend, Owen. Remember Owen
Oh,
Anderson?
Owen found it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Oh, I miss Owen.
yeah.
All
So
right. Well, anyway, enough reminiscing over here.
yeah,
Good morning, Dillian. Thank you for joining. All right. So, a couple of announcements we want to get to are so if you are on our email list, if you're on our app, if you're on, well, our texts will go out today, but we have extended the discount that we've been doing to all of our products. So last week we were telling you about our discount on the upgraded formulas, which was 20% off. And if it's on the God formulas, the 8-ounce sizes, you're getting 26% off. But then we decided that we've got some changes coming up and we wanted to help mitigate any impact those changes may have on you, which I will get to. And so we have now put the rest of our formulas on sale at 15% off. And we're doing this for an extended period of time. So you're going to have about 3 weeks starting on this past Wednesday.
just stock it up.
And here's
We
why.
know you need it. We know you want it. We know you absolutely need it. So take advantage of us. My gosh, I wonder whoever say that to you. Take advantage of us. So stock it up and just get your supplies. Just have it there. As long as you know you need it, just stock it up. Don't, just don't wait to get 1 month supply or 2 months. Just stock it up. Take advantage of us.
And here's why. So we've got 2 things happening. The first thing is that we have a lot of you, our core client base, probably all of you right here on the show right now, you spend a lot of money, maybe a lot more money with NuSpecies than other people. And you probably earn discounts more frequently than we are able to give them. Because when we give a discount, we have to do it to everyone in the world.
And it's random.
And it's random. We don't follow holiday schedules.
Which is not fair.
We don't follow holiday schedules. We just do it when finances allow. And it's not typically often enough for you. And so we need a rewards program that looks at your individual purchasing behavior and then offers you rewards that you have earned automatically when it's time, rather than you waiting on us doing some kind of company-wide discount that, frankly, most companies can't afford to do too frequently. So,
and actually, when we do that, maybe about 10% of our clients are aware of it, believe it or not. Probably 5%, not even 10% of our thousands and thousands of clients around the world. Just a small portion, that get to know about it. So continue, Julian. So what we're going to do now is to be able to have an ongoing program for you to get reward for buying.
right.
And we're not going to reward you for referring people. That you're doing God's work. That's your missionary duty to God, to refer people to get help. But when you spend $1 with us, we're going to reward you in giving you some form of incentive.
Oh, no, they can earn points for referring as well.
Oh,
Well,
there
the
you
person
go.
you refer has to buy, but once they buy, the system will automatically see that you referred someone who purchased, and then you'll get an allotment of points towards your next
Listen
discount.
to you. Okay.
So this will
you're
be
going to get a double dip.
yeah, so there'll be many ways for you to earn points. So those of you who are really engaging with us on social media, you're referring people to us, you're writing us reviews, you'll have all these additional ways to earn points.
Subscribers,
Right.
Our subscriber list has increased a lot because of you. So continue doing that. We need that.
And so we'll be launching this rewards program. What that means is we may end up doing these like company-wide discounts less frequently, because all of you who are buying regularly are earning your points and getting your discounts automatically now. And so it's kind of like a win-win. It takes that burden off of us, but it also stops you from wondering when your next discount is coming, and then you can budget and pace based on our program. And so the program will be launching in a couple of weeks. But for those of you who really just like these blanket discounts, take advantage of this one now. That's why we're giving you 3 weeks to stock up and just get a discount on everything you buy, anywhere from 15 to 26% off. And then the rewards program will launch after this discount ends. Okay. The other thing that is happening is those of you who've been with us long enough probably know that NuSpecies has never raised our prices. I can think of 2 instances, one that probably no one will remember, but way back in the beginning when we launched the very, very first product, we did not know how to price products and we sold it for way too little. And that one product that we had for sale at the time, we raised that price. That predates probably anyone. Just me and Aston, we basically knew about that. And then I think at one point, several years ago, our B vitamins was terribly underpriced. And rather than not sell it anymore, we had to do a significant hike. And for those of you who had been buying it previously, we give you a very long time at the old price. And that was the only other time we raised our price. But we have never raised our prices in the way that companies are responsibly supposed to as prices increase over time.
And a lot of you have been seeing signs of that because the Queen Nanny, the Big Boy, the Fire Focus, the MSM, there are a number of formulas that we typically don't put on discount anymore because of that. We're in the red. We're losing. We're not, we can't keep them on the shelf. So rather than taking them off the shelves, and you don't get your Queen Nanny anymore for fibroids and ovarian cysts and dense breasts and hormonal issues and anemia, rather than take it off the shelf, because that's our only option, we have to put some pennies on it. And it's the same with the Big Boy, the Super Big Boy, the Fire Focus. A lot of you take the Fire Focus with the God Formula 2, but the Fire Focus, a lot of you take it, a ton of you take it for your kidney issues. And all of you who take it for your kidney issues, provided that you didn't see complete kidney failure, you take the Fire Focus with the God Formula 2, all of you have seen help with your kidneys as long as you don't have complete kidney failure. So it would be ungodly, using God a lot today, for us to take Fiery Focus off the shelf rather than just raise it a few pennies so you can keep, your kidney disease at bay. And those of you who will get kidney disease because you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or other issues, we want to keep the Fiery Focus on the shelf. We want to keep the Queen Nanny, the Big Boy, the Super Big Boy, the MSM, all these formulas that we are in the red on, losing our shirts and skirts on. We are going to have to raise the price a few pennies to keep it on the shelf. Otherwise, we have to take it off the shelf. So you can give us some feedback on that. I'm personally welcoming any feedback you have on that, but that's our only option. And as Jill just said, 15, 16 years. And we have been through 3 recessions, one massive pandemic that causes price to go through the roof. And by the way, the prices never came back down. And now we have a massive inflation that's been going on for over a year. And the prices are not even coming down, they're going up. So on top of all of that, it's not just taking products off the shelf. Now it's nailing up the doors of our stores. If we don't raise, if we don't put a few pennies in some of them, not all of them, but Jill will talk to you about that.
Right. And so if you purchase this week or anytime during the discount, in the box that we ship to you, you'll get a letter from us. And if you're in the store, you'll get a letter from our team. And we've attached the letter in our email. It's on our blog. It's on our app. It's everywhere so that you can hear this explanation and you could pass it along. But we do want you to know that we are not increasing the prices of any of our products that are $200 and more, or $199.99 and more. Those are not changing. But some of, especially our formulas that came around in the earlier days before we really understood how to price products properly.
I would say
they need
this
to change.
in the early years of NuSpecies. This is a true statement, people. When Jill and I used to walk the street of Mount Vernon, sitting at your dinner table on a Sunday or Saturday, talking to you about your health, and the
Barbershops,
Bronx,
beauty
and
salons.
barbershop and beauty salons. Yes, we used to walk the streets, walk those rough streets of Mount Vernon and the Bronx, sitting at the dinner table, talking to you about health, not selling you products. We actually didn't have any products. We were just talking to you about your health. So when we were doing that, we were a charity. So I would say, Joe, the first few years of NuSpecies, we were just a charitable company trying to help people. Yes, we had the products. So we didn't care about price, about making money.
We actually gave the products to people without charging. We would write it in this little notepad, and then people would actually come back to us for more and not have paid for the first package.
So all those hospitals in Mount Vernon and the Bronx, right?
Uh-huh.
So you all know those hospitals. A lot of those people who work there, a lot of the nurses who work there, you owe us a lot of money because you got products you never paid for. And we never came and asked you for the money. So that's how much we were giving away products. Literally, we just gave people products, to take them, and we didn't care about money that much. So There are just so many people out there who owe us a lot of money, and we just let it go. So I would say, Jill, in the first 5 year, 4 or 5 years of New Species, we were operating not as a business. We were operating more as a charitable foundation. And those of you who heard us on the radio and Ira Jam Radio and the other station and the other guy we used to be on the show for a short time, you know that all we were doing was giving education. Educate like we're doing now. Education, education, education. I call that charity. So now the time has come to keep these products around for you. So if you want us to keep them around for you and keep them on the shelf, after all we've been through over the last 10 years, I say 10 years only because there were a number of years during the prior presidency when a lot of the products or a lot of foods and were banned from Africa. Like a lot of our herbs we couldn't get. They were banned. They were banned from parts of Brazil. A lot of stuff we couldn't get, and that caused the prices to go up as well. So there are just so many factors that have hit us so hard. Why now we either have to put a few pennies in some of these products or take them off the shelf.
Mm-hmm. So you will see where we're not going to increase the prices of any of the products 200 and above. Most of the products will get minimal increase that should not impact your budget when you're purchasing them. And then, especially if you stock up now while we're doing the discount on our current prices. And then the rest of the products there might be some products where we really did not price them well way back, 10 years ago when we came out with them. And so there might be a little bit higher of a hike on those. I think overall the increases are not going to impact your monthly purchases.
I don't
So
think so.
I think it'll be okay. And truthfully, we have to balance our charitable nature with being responsible stewards of a for-profit business.
Especially those of you who harass me and harass me and harass me for discounts. You wouldn't even care. If we raise the prices 50 cents and you're getting 15, 20, 30, $50 discount, you wouldn't even notice it. So you all be quiet, take it easy. It's not gonna impact you. Let us just, put a few pennies on so we can account for our manufacturing expenses, which are extremely high. It costs us a lot of money to make improvements in manufacturing to be able to bring you safe, really safe, truly safe products.
But also effective products. So once again, the FDA regulations, they're geared toward making sure that your products are safe. They are not geared toward making sure your products actually work.
You want to explain that one? Because
we have some questions, so maybe we could answer questions first and then get back to a little bit more deep dive on this. But basically, in order for us to make sure we not only make products that are safe, that just meet the FDA's basic regulations, we also want to make products that work. And so we take all these additional steps to have our products be cold processed or raw, to test them intensely to make sure they actually still have all the nutrients at the end process before we sell to you. And we can get into more details after, but every step of the way from the suppliers that and especially during the pandemic when inflation went up, a lot of our suppliers started like padding the raw material with other ingredients. So we think we were getting organic carrot, for example. As all of you know, our circulatory was sold out for months because the 8 months before that, when we were trying to source our raw material, every time we purchased organic carrot, we would pay to test it and it would not be organic. Or we would pay to test it and we would realize it was filled with another similar vegetable that was not carrot. And so we had to keep rejecting batch after batch after batch. So to make sure that the formula that you end up taking is actually powerful and effective in the way that you want it to be, we have to reject so many batches. We have to keep paying for testing that goes nowhere. And it costs so much money. And so not only do we have to do that, which most other companies are not going to do, but then the cost of all that testing went up during the pandemic 3 times. The cost of our raw materials went up 3 separate times, and we never increased our prices. So if NuSpecies is going to stick around for the long haul, we have got to do something. So we're trying to balance it out with a nice long discount for you to stock up. And then still, I think even after the prices go up a little bit, it's not going to impact you that much. Especially if you're a rewards member. Once we launch the rewards program and you're earning your points for your purchases, you're going to get your automatic discounts. And I think it'll all even out in the end for you. So we could talk in more detail after we answer a couple questions.
Yeah.
And if any of you have any questions about the price increase or our costs or
The
Anything, like
FDA
you're
and
mad, you just
all
want
of
to yell
that.
at us in here, it's totally fine.
There's their time. This is their only chance.
um, Suzanne says it's time for a little more penny. Go ahead.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you,
Suzanne.
Susan.
You know what? I say that people in business who are trying to do the right thing by people should not be ashamed to make money. We need to make a lot of money so that we can keep doing a lot of good in this world. We're the ones who need to be making the money, right? Not all these big corporations who barely pay any taxes and all that other stuff.
If you
Like,
put it that way,
we need to
I
be
could agree. I could
shameless
agree with
about
that.
making money so we
Yeah,
can keep doing the good work that we do and
yeah.
more. We want to keep doing more free education. We'll pay for more airtime to keep doing more education. We'll do so much more, but we need to stay in business and have a healthy business for us and of course our employees. All right. So Yolanda is saying she's got plenty of her products, so she needs to make sure she gets something for high cholesterol. She doesn't remember which formula she should be buying for high cholesterol. Yolanda, if you can list the products you currently do have, just because there isn't necessarily one product for high cholesterol, and then we could give you more detail. But asking if you want to speak to that, it's Yolanda James. I'm not sure if you know off the top of your head.
Yeah. So for high cholesterol, without going into a lot of the details, since it's a very specific question, if you have the LNU, any of the LNU with the detox, you're pretty good for cholesterol. So whether it's the LNU1 or the LNU9 or the LNU25, what you do is that you take the detox and you take an ounce of the LNU1 or an ounce of the LNU9 or a tablespoon of the LNU25. Any of the LNUs you have along with the detox, you just stay on it and it will help you to get your cholesterol, rebuild your body, rebuild your liver. The liver is what pumping out cholesterol. It will rebuild your liver so your liver stop pumping out the excess lipids, which are fats, which are cholesterol and triglycerides. Now, if you have a genetic issue with cholesterol, or if you're of Indian ancestry, I have noticed a trend with Indians. Even if you're not full Indians, you're part Indians. I've noticed that your cholesterol tend to go off the charts, and you get heart disease a lot more quickly. So if you fall in that category, you may need to add two LNUs, LNU1 and LNU9, and take one in the morning, take the other in the evening. And that will help you with the genetic issue or the hereditary issue of cholesterol. Because a lot of you have high cholesterol because it's hereditary. And you must know that cholesterol is one of the primary, if not the primary cause of heart disease. And heart disease is the number one killer of the human species. I know a lot of you have high cholesterol, you take it for granted. You should not. It's a primary cause of heart disease. It blocks the blood vessels and damages the heart muscles and cause a lot of blood circulation issues. So,
All right. So Mary put the link in there, Yolanda, for the cholesterol starter package. If those are the products that you already have and you're thinking there's something else, then let us know in the chat.
Mhm.
Okay. And then Donna says, "Good morning. What can you take for seizures?"
So seizure is a neurological issue, as all of you know, and seizures is a sign that the brain is damaged. The neural network in the brain is damaged. It's a sign that there's inflammation in the brain. It's a sign that there's decay in the brain, and a lot of people who have seizures. It's genetic. So when someone has a seizure, it's not a bad thing. It's a sign of the brain protecting itself. That's why you get a seizure, because the brain shuts down. So the brain doesn't get further damage. The brain protects itself. It's like someone who we have when we get infection and we get really, really hot, the immune system is revved up killing the infection. It's a good thing if you're hot when you have an infection because it's a sign that your immune system is strong and your body is fighting. If you don't get a fever and you have an infection, then you're in big trouble because it means your immune system is so weak. Those WBC and neutrophils are dormant or not functioning the way they should to kill the virus or the bacteria or the microbes or parasites. So when it comes to seizures, you need our brain system, the brain system that rebuild the brain, rebuild the nerves. And I could give a lot of details about this whole brain system. We could write a volume of hundreds of pages and just that one system alone for the brain, but it's the brain system you need. And if you're not able to do the brain system, get on my calendar and we can try to work at something less for you to get started. but the brain system is actually what's required. But we can work with you to get from a smaller system to the brain system so that the brain issues or the seizure issues don't get worse. And that's the key. You have an issue, you have an issue, your number one duty is to make sure it doesn't get worse. And we can help you to do that. Even if you can't afford what you ideally need to fix it, we can help to restore cleaning, rebuilding, purifying your body to help the body not to get worse.
All right, great. So Mary's been putting in the chat the products that you're speaking about. Donna, you can click on those links. We usually leave the stream up for a few minutes after we end to give you time to click on links, since it will likely direct you away from the stream. All right, so those are all of our questions. Marjorie also said, I would rather prices go up and the products stay available.
Okay.
So thank you very much. We really hope. We did get a couple of angry calls this week from folks who are not happy about prices going up, which we expect.
Yeah, but
We expect, we understand,
Yeah.
It makes sense. But we feel like we're not doing anything that a normal, responsible business would do, and we're way overdue. So
Right.
we appreciate your support, and we will continue to provide the highest quality, best products that we can, and all the other great client services and education that we believe that we do. Diane says, good morning, happy Sabbath. Hi, Diane. Thank you for joining.
So
yeah.
I want to get back to one of the points you raised about products and manufacturing
Mhm.
and testing and the FDA requirements, and then you are more of an expert in this than I am. Actually, you're an expert in it. I'm not.
Aston invents the formulas,
And-
but then I have to make sure they get made.
and that is when we do work very closely with the FDA, and a lot of you, a lot of us, a lot of people, not you, but a lot of people don't think very highly of the FDA, but the FDA has a very hard job to do. I can tell you that, to protect foods coming in. And the biggest issue they have is not enough money is allotted to protect whatever foods that are coming in. Jillian just spoke with some of these carrots that had fillers, and they were not organic, and we had to reject them. So the FDA now, when the FDA,
that's our standards, right? Because that would be considered safe and fine by the
right.
FDA.
Well, that's the
But
point.
our standards is that it wasn't good enough.
Right. That's the point
Yeah.
I'm going to get to, and that is the FDA doesn't have the money to care whether the foods you're eating are nutritious. They don't care if you get any value from the foods you're eating, be it carrots, apples, bananas, and now talk about supplements. We're in the supplement industry. The FDA does not care, could not care less if the vitamins you're taking are healthy, going to make you healthy. The FDA cares about one thing, and that is when you take it, it won't poison you. It won't make you sick. But the FDA doesn't care if it supports your liver, your diabetes, your blood pressure, your DNA, your genes. That is not the goal of the FDA, because I think they don't have enough money to police to get to that point. So what we have to do is to make sure that what you get is organic, is from natural sources, and safe and healthy, and will support your body. And that's why those of you who take in NuSpecies, you're getting the support from NuSpecies. You're seeing the results from NuSpecies because we care that you're getting high potency nutritional support from NuSpecies, because we care. And that's why you're getting that.
And this is how little in general that the industry cares about products actually working. We tell our suppliers in advance what our specs are for whatever material they're going to send us. So when, for example, with the carrot, when we tell them the carrot has to be organic, that we are going to test it when it comes here, and we will reject the batch if it's not what we ask for, they still send us exactly what they have, which is what they know we do not want, because they know that companies don't do that, aren't going to test it. As long as the supplier says it's organic carrot, it goes right into the product. But then we do go ahead and test it. It's up to $1,000 every time we test each individual raw material, only to find out that it's not what we ask for, and then we have to reject the batch, and we don't always get our money back. So that's how little the industry in general cares, that these suppliers will still send us stuff that isn't what we want because they don't believe we're really going to test it and that we would really reject it.
Right. So if you want to take vitamins as an example, vitamins, the B vitamins actually help to rebuild genes and DNA, but they have to be from natural sources. What's made in the lab are synthetic, are from
It's
synthetic
man made.
compounds, man-made. So you go out and you buy these B vitamins and you live in them and you still get sick and you get even more sick and then you get worse and you get no support. B vitamins actually, the names, even the names of the B vitamins come from DNA, the DNA and nucleic acids. That's where the names come from. Just do the research and compare it. But those B vitamins have to be from natural sources. So there are companies out there who say, well, I can make a B vitamin and sell it for $8 or $15 and it's synthetic, it's a compound because the people are going to buy it. And what they're doing, they're preying on your desire or your local knowledge that B vitamins are good for the body. But you don't know that the B vitamins you're taking are synthetic compounds. They're not going to do anything for you.
And actually, contrary to common belief, that whether or not the B vitamin was made in a lab or extracted from whole food sources, the name of that vitamin is still the same. So some people will
Right.
call us and say, "Oh, I see that, folic acid is on your label." That isn't that the synthetic version of B vitamins? Well, technically, any vitamin that is outside of its food source is either synthesized, meaning it's been stabilized to exist outside of the food, or it's been completely made in a lab. It's completely synthetic, but the name is still the same. So we get that the nutritional industry is really confusing, and even though there's no way for us to prove to you on our label that the B vitamins you see listed on our label are actually from whole food sources versus the same names on another product's label that were completely made in a lab. We can't prove that to you, but we know when you take the product, you're going to feel the difference than when
Right.
you take those seemingly same B vitamins from another product. And that's what we hope for. You get to the point where you take the product, you realize it's better, but we put all this time, effort, and money and energy into making this product, knowing very well that people might look at our label and another product's label and decide not to spend more,
Right.
not realizing they're actually not getting what they're paying for at all.
Right. $50, $8, our B vitamins is $49.99, $50. And you can get a B vitamins out there for $5 or $10 or $15 that are synthetic. But let me say this to you. A lot of you have asked me for why don't I carry CoQ10, right? Guess what? If you're taking B vitamins from a natural source, your body will make CoQ10. CoQ10 is actually made from B5 vitamin, but it has to be from a natural source. You don't need to go out there and buy CoQ10 off the shelf because it's garbage. Our bodies make it. If our bodies make it, man can't make it. If our bodies make it, God makes it, man can't make it in any lab on the earth. A lot of you have asked me for glutathione, one of the most powerful enzymes on planet Earth in our bodies. One of the most powerful enzymes to protect our genes, our DNA, our cells, our organs. It's probably the most important enzyme in the human body, glutathione. And a lot of you ask me, why don't you sell it? Because you think you can buy it in the market. Yes, there are companies selling it, but it's not glutathione. It's garbage. Only our bodies can make it. And guess what? You're taking a natural B vitamin, the B vitamin from a natural source like ours, the B6 and the B12 will make glutathione. Google it. So that's why we make our formulas from natural sources to support your body. We know what we're doing. We know what your body needs when you have high blood pressure and diabetes and cholesterol. We know what your body needs when you have cancer. We do. We just don't have time to go into all these details with you. But just take those couple I just gave you as food for thought.
And it's interesting that you say this too, because everything you're saying is talking about how B vitamins actually help rebuild the DNA. I don't think most people, when they buy vitamins, are thinking about, I need to rebuild my DNA. I think they're just like, I'm supposed to take vitamins to like keep me healthy. They don't think vitamins are supposed to make their body like actually heal. They think vitamins are just to maintain what's already good health. Now, obviously, we can't market and sell our products to say this is going to heal you, but your body uses vitamins as basic building blocks, and you have to take that seriously. You can either save money by spending $15 on this multivitamin instead of $50 on ours. But how do you feel about completely wasting $15 versus spending $50 and getting something that is going to have powerful impact? Like from the first dose, most people say, "Whoa," like they feel something when they take it. You
And we give it to you in a big bottle, 16 ounces. Take a teaspoon a day. It lasts you 3 months.
Mhm.
3 months. One last thing I want to say to you. You also have never asked us what does vitamin mean?
We do have another question, so I don't know if you wanna save that little gem for after.
Let's save that gem.
Okay, we'll get
Do
back to
you
it.
know what
Marion,
vitamin
remind
mean?
us what that question is.
Do you
Okay.
know what vitamin mean? I'm sure you're going to have the answers because you're all going to Google it by the time I come back. And then you'll see how important and critical and vital vitamins are for our DNA, our genes, and for long life, as Jillian was talking about it. Yes, question.
All right. So Diane Thomas is asking, I'll be traveling to Nigeria in August, and I'm thinking if there's anything I can take for my immune system. I'm diabetic. So I'm curious if Diane is asking two separate things, or if being diabetic weakens the immune system and that she just wants to. Do you understand what she's asking, or do we need
Yeah.
more information?
This is what I'm going to say to all of you. Yes, Diane, I'm speaking to you, but I speak to everybody who is listening anywhere you are. So the new species LNU1, the new species LNU1. If you're taking the new species LNU1, it has all the B vitamins in there, plus 9 herbs and plants and whole foods and green foods, plus vitamin C. The LNU1, our most basic rebuilding formula, it is for the whole body and the immune system. And if each of you who are listening to me take 1 ounce of the LNU1 daily, you probably don't need to do a whole lot more, except when you feel like you need food, you put something in your stomach. The LNU1, it's that powerful. When I invented the formula, it's our original formula, and everything we do at NuSpecies is based on the LNU1. So, Diane, that's what you need, the LNU1. And if you're able to take an ounce a day, it will give you extraordinary support for your whole body. It doesn't matter what issues you have or you don't have. And if you take the LNU9, which is about 5 times more potent than the LNU1, you take an ounce a day, you're flying higher. And then you go to LNU25. LNU25, I can tell you, you take a tablespoon a day, and all of you should be taking the LNU1 or the LNU9 or LNU25. Whether you're healthy or not, whether you have cancer or not, blood pressure or not, all of you should be taking it. It is a very potent formula that supports the whole body. You should get your kids on it. If you want your grandparents and parents to live longer, put them on it. It's the most important formula we have, the LNU formulas, the
Which
LNU1, 9, or 25.
which the name is going to be changing back to its original name, Body Systems. So keep an eye out for that. We're reminding you in our email and on our app and everywhere that that name is going to change. So one day when you do buy it, you'll see a new label that says Body Systems, and then there'll be like a little sticker at the top that reminds you of what it used to be called.
So you're taking
Just
the
so you know.
LNU, supporting your DNA. We just talk about it with vitamins. It has the B5 and B6 and B12 in there, and all the other B vitamins supporting your genes and your DNA. When our DNA go bad or mutate, it's because we don't have enough of these powerful natural vitamins in our bodies. That's what you need. Everybody needs that. Children need that. So whether you are sick or you're healthy, it was created for everybody. They are new formulas.
June says this grandparent takes L-One daily, Aston.
Good.
That's great. June
Live
also,
long, June.
yes, June also says, wow, you put so much work into these products before they get to us. Thank you for looking out for us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I told her, I said, well, we don't really know how to do it any other way. Because we take these products too. So they have to meet
If
our
it
standards. Otherwise, there's no point in doing what we do.
and if it helps you, let's say we make it for us and our family, we're just sharing it with you. We're not going to give our family garbage to drink, our kids and family.
Then
No.
Yolanda says, Aston, you and your company are the best. Truly believe in you all.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. All right. So Diane is asking, will you ever have the God formula on the website? So I will take this question.
Yes.
We would love to have the God formula on the website, Diane. We don't withhold that to make everyone's lives harder. It's because it's a proprietary formula where we don't reveal the ingredients. Our credit card processors will not allow us, they won't process our credit card transactions if we have products on the site that they would consider high risk. So if we're selling a product on our website that doesn't have ingredients listed on it, credit card processors will anticipate a lot of chargebacks because they're going to think this is a high risk product that people are going to want to return. So then what they do is overnight, they shut off our credit card processing and say, we will not process for you until you remove these products from your site. And so that's the rules there. So it's not up to us. So yeah, we can't conveniently sell it on our website. And I know that's annoying, but sorry. It stinks for us too.
Yeah, another reason is because there's a gentleman, he's probably on now. He had an eye issue years ago, eye cancer, and we helped him, and he was living on our God formulas, and he was his doctors, his surgeons, and other doctors were at Chicago General Hospital in Chicago, the cancer hospital, and they used to fly him in and put him in a hotel, he and his wife, for the whole weekend, sometimes a whole week, and they pay for everything because the eye issue he had was so unique, and then they thought it would have spread and killed him for years, and it never killed him, and they didn't know why, and they wanted to study him, and he took NuSpecies to them, which was our early God formulas, and I spoke with a few of the doctors there, and they were trying to re-engineer or God formula. And that's another reason why we don't reveal ingredients, because it's not just them. There are other scientists and medical places around, at least in the United States, have tried to re-engineer our formulas. So that's one of the main reasons not on the website.
So a couple more good questions here. So Beverly is asking, good morning. Where can I get the vegetable glycerin to buy? I'm assuming maybe you've like Googled it and looked online and can't find it. And we can sell it to you. We could just bottle it. We don't have like a label made for it or anything, but if you're fine,
If
just
you trust us,
if you trust us, we can just
we
stick
can
it in
make
a
a bottle
bottle.
for you, and
I'll tell our team to ship it with our next shipment of products, and we can just sell it to you. I'll
yeah.
get some prices. So Beverly, if you want to email me, Jillian at NuSpecies.com, or even just support at NuSpecies.com, and they'll forward the email to me, I can tell you what it would cost. Otherwise, I don't. We buy it in massive batches, like directly from suppliers. So I've never actually bought it like online on retail.
Well, it's a great idea now, Beverly, because we could say to people, a lot of doctors recommend the vegetable glycerin for people who have diabetes because it doesn't affect the glucose level in a negative way. So it won't make your A1C go up. So it's a sweetener that you could use in your tea and coffee or whatever. And we actually use vegetable glycerin. That's why the word ingredients live in. So yeah, that's why our formulas have a sweet taste.
But also people, I've heard, especially if you have like a coarse hair texture, that vegetable glycerin can be used to moisturize your hair. There's a lot of benefits. So we don't even use it for the fact that it has health benefits. It just happens to. So
it's an oil.
Yeah.
It's an oil. And you love oil. So here goes a really good, healthy oil for you.
All right. Diane is asking, let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay. No, I know I'm missing one. There was one about dementia. The you put it. Oh, great. There you go. Cleo says, is the L-Nu formulas good for dementia as well?
So the brain package, the way we put it together, that package, that system, it supports the whole brain. So whether it's Alzheimer's or Parkinson or dementia or neurological damage in the brain, like seizures, if you have a tumor, or cysts, a lesion in the brain, especially those of you who might have MS affecting your brain with those lesions. If you have memory issues, memory loss, brain injury, it's the same brain package. We have used it now for many, many years, very, very successfully across the board for with all those different issues. So, and what you all should be thinking is that, boy, I'm healthy and I have dementia in my family, or Parkinson, Alzheimer's, or memory loss, or brain issues. I should be taking it. Yeah, you shouldn't wait until your brain goes bad. If it's in your genes, if or it's in the family history, you should get the brain package. And you don't have to take it every day. You can take it once a week, and it will probably last you 8 months or 12 months. Just take it very sparsely, and just to make sure your brain, the DNA in the brain, the genes in the brain are getting those nutrients to support the genes in the DNA. Those are what go, the DNA and genes go bad. That's why we all get brain diseases.
We got Carla says the L-9 formula, I highly recommend. Wicked piece of formula, the best. If you haven't gotten it, go get it. Thank you, Carla. I love it. That's a great testimonial. Will you let us put that on our website? That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then Trevor says, God help us with all the garage people or garbage people are eating. Oh, yes, Trevor. I know he's so into health.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, people are being eaten in garages. Like,
They're eating garbage. There's a lot of garbage that I must say that I don't eat as much garbage as I used to. I probably don't eat any garbage, right? I don't eat much garbage.
Well, I guess it depends how you define garbage. That's a very important.
Well, I eat an oatmeal raisin cookie. Those of you who want to poison me,
like once a while, once in
now
a week.
you know how to poison me.
Oh,
I can't resist oatmeal raisin cookie. That's my garbage food. But then I try to exercise and burn it. So, but that's my garbage food. Everybody has something. A gentleman I spoke with yesterday said he has to smoke his marijuana spliff, and he needs it. If he doesn't get it, he's gonna die, and life is not worth living. I said, smoke your spliff.
Yeah.
Another lady said, I love rice. She had stage 4 cancer, and she said, I love my rice. And I said, eat your doggone rice if that's what you love, because everybody needs to have some pleasure in their life, even if you have end-stage 4 cancer. I didn't agree with that like 10 years ago, but now I'm coming around to it. That if you're not eating what you like, you could stress yourself out more and be in a lot of stress and cause your conditions to get worse, depressing the immune system. So there's logic behind why I'm saying you should eat some of these food, but exercise, drink your annual one or body system and your legend and your caveman to help your body to wash it out, and take your detox to wash it out. That's what I do.
Mary's prompting me here. I can see what formula is good for the eyes. Diane Miles is asking.
So the circulation formula
and
the anti-inflammatory. But if your eyes are significantly damaged, you may need to get on my calendar, meaning that you've lost significant amount of sight. Then you should talk to me. But the circulation formula and the anti-inflammatory, and as a lady said to me earlier this week who is taking them, she called me to say, but these are so grainy, how can I put them in my eye? No, you don't put them in your eye, you drink them. Take the tablespoon of each in the morning or at night. And if your eyes are bad, then you may need to get the upgraded anti-inflammatory, and you may need to take an ounce, which is a double tablespoon of the circulation formula, depending on how bad your eyes are.
Yeah, and that's a great point to just remind everyone our products are not treatments. So even though I know our questions always come in the form of what formula to take for this, it's always about which formulas are going to support your body to fix itself, because your body already knows, right? There was a time when you didn't have an eye problem because your body was able to protect and support your eyes. It stopped doing that for a reason. Our formulas are designed to help your body start doing that again. And that's why you wouldn't put it directly in your eye, because it's not a treatment for your eye. It's a support for your body to fix your eye, restore it back to what it was when your body was able to maintain the health of that organ.
Right.
We can't say that enough because we don't want anyone thinking our formulas are treatments. We legally cannot say that, and it's also not technically true, scientifically speaking. All right. And then Noel Parker. Okay. This question always goes along with like diet and lifestyle, so it's a harder one to answer. But Noel is asking, "Good morning. What formula is good for fat on the stomach and waist?"
That's actually a great question because we have been talking about vitamins, and I know a lot of you are going to be Googling your B1 and B2 and B6 and B12, but you're going to be shocked to know that, people, that if you're taking like the B vitamin that's folate, and some companies have it bottled as folic acid, and a number of the other B vitamins, they actually support, those B vitamins support our DNA and genes to utilize fat, to burn fat. That same coenzyme that we're just talking about, the coenzyme is a major fat burner in our bodies, because fat is what God gave us as the energy source. Fat is formed from glucose mostly, and the fat is what our body is supposed to burn first. So if we have too many fat cells, it means that our DNA are not functioning, and you should look out for diabetes or blood pressure or high blood pressure or even cancer. So we're going to keep going back to vitamins to show you the criticality of taking B vitamins and vitamin C and vitamin D that are natural, are from natural sources. They're natural or from natural sources. They're not going to support the genes. So all health conditions, everything that we don't like about ourselves, come from our genes and DNA. So everybody should be thinking about what are you going to do to support your genes and DNA. Yes, if you live in big cities, like a lot of us do, we know we get a lot of garbage foods in the markets that we go to, and then you wonder why your grandmother, who live out in the remote areas, wherever you're from, or wherever your grandparents are from, or your parents, why they live so long, why they live to 70, 80, 90, over 100, is because they were getting their natural vitamins and minerals from powerful natural sources, the foods they grow. Those are the best sources of vitamins. But if you're getting food that travel thousands of miles, that were reap early, and you're buying them in your local stores, they don't have adequate nutrients. You're not going to get the vitamins. You're not going to get the minerals because they're deficient. That's the difference. So yes, I know a lot of you are thinking it right now. You should be thinking of going back home, wherever home is, whether it's upstate New York or down south or the Caribbean or Africa. At least go there and spend a month and get your body rejuvenated with these powerful foods. And if you're not going to do that, we have NuSpecies, LNU1, LNU9, Caveman, Legend, Body System. Those are the formulas that rebuild the whole body, including the genes and the DNA.
And as someone who has struggled with my weight for most of my adult life, I'll say that if it weren't for NuSpecies formulas, I probably would have developed all kinds of serious health issues by now, especially digestive ones, um, because there's only so much you can counteract eating damaging foods. So as much as Aston would like for me to just listen to everything he says, I can tell you from experience that Aston can educate all he wants, but if we don't actually do the thing that he's saying, we're still going to struggle with that excess fat. Um, it could also be hormonal, depending on what
Oh
age you're
yeah,
at. It
it
could
can be
be
genetic as well. It could
yeah,
be hereditary,
could be
and
lack of exercise, not enough water. I mean, there could be stress. There's so many things that can lead to us holding on to weight for various reasons. And it's important to explore. The bottom line is you're always going to need powerful nutrition. Even once you lose weight, you still need to maintain health. So getting the NuSpecies products as your baseline, as your foundation, will only make it easier to weed out factors to figure out what's causing you to keep on the weight. Some people just start nourishing their body and they get a lot of energy, and that is enough for them to start burning fat. Others of us have other issues that we need to deal with. It could be emotional and mental and hormonal, and it could be age, it could be menopause, it could be so many things.
Hmm.
But to be feeling crappy while you're trying to figure that out is a huge disadvantage. So for me, I know I keep myself running with NuSpecies formulas. I try to, I mean, Aston always keeps only 25 or Body Systems 25 around. I take bee pollen. I take the detox. I have to take that every single day because unless I'm eating a really, really clean diet, which I don't, I will not go properly, which then has 100 other side effects, foggy brain and bloating, gas, I mean, just so many problems. So I need the detox every day. I often will take a women's formula, whether it's Queen Nanny or Fiery Focus, which is not specifically a women's formula, but has overlapping benefits. Or I'll just take the women's health formula. And then whatever else we have around, I typically try to take. Um, but yeah, fat around your hips and waist is such a difficult thing to tackle, but you don't want to go about that challenge with a disadvantage.
And if you all want to know what's going on, if you have any kind of issue with this fat or otherwise, just do a comprehensive lab and do an MRI or ultrasound and bring them to me. The answers are always in those documents. A complete lab, with a urinalysis and do an MRI. Even if it's selective, do an MRI or an ultrasound. Ultrasound picks up a lot of what goes on in our body. That's one of the beauty about an ultrasound. And bring it to me, and I can go through it with you, take you through it, and show you, where the issues are, and then you can take it back to your primary care or your specialist, or you can, let us help you change your diet and lifestyle to fix that. You know, the answer is always there.
Mhm. All right, we have one more question. We'll be able to answer one more question. I just want to remind all of you, we now have officially 919 subscribers, which is 19 more than the last time I made this appeal to you. If you are someone who has not yet subscribed to our channel, please, please, before you leave the stream today, subscribe to our channel because we need to get over 1,000 subscribers to have access to some of the other cool features. Like, for example, when we're talking about products, a link will just appear on the screen for you to click. And then we don't have Mary doesn't have to be typing furiously to get those links into the chat to you. But those features, we can't even pay for them. We actually have to have a certain amount of subscribers to have access to them. So please, every subscriber really does count. Each one of you is an amazing contributor and supporter of our work. You are the reason we do this. And every new subscribe really means a lot to us and will help us continue to provide this meaningful work to more people. So if you have not yet, subscribe to our channel. Click the like things, you know, how whatever that all that is that makes us look great because we are. And then also you can hit the notify bell so that whenever we're live, you will be notified. All right, one more question.
Okay.
And then we can end with some last announcements. All right. I think it says YouTube user, so the person has not gotten their name into the chat. But in regards to curing fibroids and adenomyosis, how long after taking the supplements can you do a sonogram and see improvement in the results?
I would say 3 months, 3 to 6 months. And some women, they see results a lot earlier. We have a lot of clients out there. If you go to our YouTube channel and go into the playlist and listen to some of those testimonials, some women just take it for a few weeks and they pass out the fibroids, or the fibroids, they either come out whole or break up and come out. We get all kind of stories, and yes, you may see those testimonials, so they're old, but we got so many testimonials. We just stopped taking testimonials. But I must tell you, we have thousands and thousands of women out there who have gotten help with their fibroids or ovarian cysts or their dense breasts or their thyroid nodule. They're all related to hormonal imbalance. Women who have endometriosis, or they may have chronic menopause. They're all related to hormonal imbalance. So the formula we have, the Queen Annie, that's what it does. It helps to balance the hormones, and by just balancing all your hormones, these issues, they gradually go away, whether it's fibroids, endometriosis, or ovarian cysts, or PCOS, dense breast, thyroid nodule. They literally just go away. But everybody's body is different. Some people are more chronic. The formulas work for some people faster than others because their health status is different. So, but you will be able to see improvement by just taking it and just staying on it.
And probably you'll notice a difference where you'll feel like the timing is right to get another test. Unless you're going to pay for it out of pocket, you will likely still have to wait for your doctor to determine that insurance will cover another test, because if your doctor thinks something is incurable without surgery, they may not see a justification to order another test to look at the
Right.
thing that they think didn't get better. So you probably would need to start seeing some sort of evidence that maybe it's gotten better
Right.
to justify another sonogram.
That's true.
So there's like that difficult balance when you really are looking to see results, but you might need a test to see them. And then you're investing money to get these results, and you want proof that it's working. So we understand that.
So what some women have done, you ladies are so smart. What some women have done with fibroids, they would tell me that when they lie on their back, they can feel it.
Mm.
And that's how they would know that it's shrinking or it's gone. When they just can't feel it anymore, they know it's either shrunk or it's gone. And because the doctors refuse to do any kind of exam, and you can understand why the doctor does that. The insurance company may not want to pay for it because doing a sonogram or any kind of imaging is very expensive, and insurance may not want to pay for it
Mhm.
unless you're in critical situations.
Yeah, that's a good point, Aston. And then also, as Aston always says, the fibroid is just the symptom. It's a symptom of a larger system of issues in your body with, your body systems. And so if the fibroids are shrinking, likely the root cause of the issue is your body is able to address, which means you might see a whole lot of other host of benefits where you're starting to feel better. And then if those things are getting better, perhaps the fibroids are too, if you're not able to feel them.
Right.
Yeah,
If
I
they're
know.
small, yeah.
It's hard to say. But it's unlikely you're just going to experience that one symptom getting better. You're likely going to see a whole constellation of benefits that can tell you that you're getting healthier.
Right. And the other point to your point, Joe, is that a lot of ladies would say to me, well, my menstrual is now better. It's normal.
Your sex
And
drive gets
and
better.
a lot of things get better, and
Mhm.
they're just happy that their life is generally better from just taking the Queen Nanny, and they know they're getting results. So maybe the fibers may not be shrinking as rapidly as they want, but they're not anemic anymore, or their hemoglobin is getting better because they're losing less blood, during their cycle. So it's a combination of many results you get from the Queen Nanny when you take the Queen Nanny. Whether you're taking it for fibroids, we're not selling it to you for fibroids. We're selling it to you to balance your hormones, and by balancing your hormones, your fibers will shrink. The ovarian cyst or PCOS will shrink. The dense tissues in the breast will shrink. The thyroid nodules will shrink. Your menstrual will normalize, and your hemoglobin will go up, and you would not have to worry about anemia or getting iron infusion or blood transfusion. Your menopause is better. So all these issues, we give you the Queen Nanny to support your body. And by the way, it's your DNA and your genes that are using the Queen Nanny to support your organs. How about that? So we don't sell a formula, the Queen Nanny, for that. We sell it for everything. It's holistic, not HOL, listic. It's WHOL, your whole body. That's what we look at when you come to us. We're not looking at one symptom. We're looking at the cause of the symptom. And that's what our formulas are for. They're not for symptoms.
And or for cures. So I know you use the word cure, and usually our clients do, and they say, I know, it's not a cure, but it's the only word you know. But technically, there is no cure for anything. Your body just has to fix it. And that's what we're helping it do. All right, we're going to wrap up now. I just want to leave with a couple of summary announcements. So we are really aggressively looking for a solution for Brooklyn so that we can serve you out there. We're just looking for an office. If you have any suggestions of areas or a space that you know of, please let us know. It's got to have parking or a bus line that gets there easily,
A train.
or train for all of you to get to, and ideally not too hard for us to drive to, because we're the ones that are going to have to go there.
And there's one other thing. It has to please try to make it a nice place, because one of the reasons why we hire people in the old Brooklyn location and they resign, they leave because they don't feel proud to work in the neighborhood. You get my point, right? Don't let me go into details and embarrass me and embarrass you and embarrass everybody. So I can tell you what one lady said to me when we were trying to find someone that before we closed the Brooklyn store. She said, I have my granddaughter. She just graduated from college. But she would love to work there, but I don't think she wanted to work at a place like that, meaning the location. So you get the point.
Yeah.
People want to feel proud of the neighborhood and the area they work in. And I'm not putting that in neighborhoods. I'm just telling you the reason why we have to close that store. I hate doing it. I spent years there building up the location for all of you. So it's the only reason why it's closed is because we can't find anyone to work there. So get us, a location, preferably an office space in an area that you'll be proud to work every day, and it has train. It's not far from the train. It's not far from the bus. It doesn't have to be, at the train station. It can be blocks away, but close enough.
All right.
Yeah.
And then also we will be renaming the anti-inflammatory. So in addition to LNU, which is going back to body systems, the anti-inflammatory was just our quick name we put on that formula because Aston likes to invent things overnight and then just say go. So we named it that, but we really technically can't keep calling it that because although we know the benefits of the formula are to reduce inflammation in the body and we have all the anecdotal evidence of that, we legally cannot make a claim on our label. So to say anti-inflammatory is a claim, so we need to change it. And we would like it to be something that will stand the test of time. We love your creativity. I created a form for you to fill out if you would like to contribute some ideas of what the name for the anti-inflammatory can be. So Mary put the link in the chat. And if you would like to lend us your creativity, we'd appreciate it because we are struggling with the right name to change it to. We'd like it to be something easy to say and short, not like anti-inflammatory and anti-infection. And it can't have any claims. So we can say let's say, for example, our circulatory formula, we can say that it supports healthy circulation. But we can't say that it will fix a problem caused by bad circulation, right? So we're struggling with the anti-inflammatory because it's not an exact opposite of the word inflammatory. So I don't know. We need your ideas.
So this is all about federal law, just so you know. We just don't want to violate the law. The federal law says that we can't use words that tell people that they're curing or they're
treating.
preventing or they're treating. And if you all heard the discussion we just had on vitamins, all those people out there who are selling you these synthetic compounds to support your body, imagine if they were saying they're going to cure you with those synthetic compounds. They're going to prevent your health issue with synthetic compounds. They're lying to you. That is the main reason why the FDA and the federal government correctly don't allow companies to use the word treat, cure, or prevent. And unfortunately, the medical system can use it, but they shouldn't be able to use it either. For all of you who have diabetes for years and blood pressure for years and cholesterol for years and prostate for years and all these issues for years, and these medications are not curing it. So they shouldn't be allowed to say it either. But somehow they can say it.
Right. I had some thoughts while you were talking, but I was listening to you, so then I forgot
Maybe the
them.
next episode.
All
because
right.
we're not going to get to vitamins. So
I thought you got to that.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
so the question,
little teaser for next week. I think we should prepare maybe a custom episode for next week.
Okay.
Because we won't be live next week. We don't have a babysitter. But we could record something special for next week instead of doing a replay.
Okay.
But the show will be on next week. We just won't be live, and we actually might be able to be in the chat though. We can still be in the chat. We just can't be in studio. So we'll see. We'll let you know in the email that goes out this week. Please subscribe to our email list. Please be on our text list if you prefer texting. Download our app because we send up to the minute updates on our app. So if our store is closing early for the day, we will send the notification so you know. We always update the hours there so you know in advance when the store is going to close. But we post all of our weekly discounts there. The rewards program will be linked there. Everything happens on our app. It's a little bit easier to manipulate than our website. So it's a great place to be if you want to stay up. Let us keep you up to date with all the things going on so you don't have to do any work.
And spread the word to friends and family to join. I'm sure from today's episode, Those of you who stayed through a lot of it or all of it, you'll see that we really do give a lot of information that you can use at home to help yourselves, to help your children, to help your family, to protect your family from all the opportunists that are out there, the diabolical opportunists out there that are sending you synthetic compounds for your children's health, your parents and grandparents' health. So tell your family to tune in, let them get an education from us. And I don't know where else you can get education like this, because we are unfiltered and we are not rehearsed. I can tell you that when we come and sit and talk to you, we're not looking at books and magazines and studies and all that nonsense. We're not. And one of the reasons why we're not is because we've been doing this for so many years. We have worked with so many people, tens of thousands of people with, let's say, blood pressure, tens of thousands with diabetes, tens of thousands with all these health issues that we see what's happening out there. So when we speak to you, we're speaking from experience, from knowledge, not from magazines and books that are concocted to, to diabolically deceive, as you all know, a lot of books do. So tell your family to join and learn so that you can have self-help. That is our goal, for you to be able to help yourselves at home when we're not doing this anymore. Nothing lasts forever.
Oh gosh. Well, hopefully we'll leave behind a massive archive on YouTube, because as June says, every week she still learns something new. And then if we're not live, she just rewatches and continues to take notes. Because honestly, we say so much on this show. I think it hits that little dopamine thing where you're like, I feel good. I learned something. But truthfully, we all just forget stuff like an hour after we heard it. So repetition is key for learning and to implement new habits. Maybe something we said today inspired you to exercise, or maybe eat a little less junk food. I mean, Trevor hit us hard with all the garbage that we eat in our garages. And so, but that might have felt good in the moment, like, oh yeah, I want to do better. But then hearing it again and again is really what's going to make us change our actions. So it can't hurt to keep rewatching these episodes for those little gems that might motivate you to make a difference.
All right. So you all have a great weekend. I
Mhm.
hope you enjoy our presentation and get more family and friends to join next time anywhere
Mhm.
they are in the world, and
Subscribe, subscribe,
subscribe,
subscribe.
subscribe. Know that we're thinking about how to help more people. Subscribe, subscribe, so we can reach more people.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. We really, really appreciate this time with you. It just continues to reinforce why we do what we do. It brings us such fulfillment to talk to you. Thank you so much for being here with us. And we will see you in one way, shape, or form next Saturday at 10 a.m. Otherwise, we hope you enjoy the discount. Take advantage of all the products being on sale for the next 2.5 weeks. And reach out to Aston if you need any suggestions. His calendar is open as usual. And we will be in touch. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.